Hello everyone, very good afternoon and welcome to your favorite channel. Obviously the name StudyIQ IAS English. And today we are going to start a new series for you guys with regard to the weekly current affairs. So weekly current affairs as in the most important topics from the previous weeks we shall be covering. So we are starting with the date from 25th of August onwards till what we can say the next week, that is basically 1st of September, right? So here we go. The very first news, the very first most important news, it's with regard to Article 6 of the Paris Agreement, that is India's climate market kickstart. So obviously we know that what is the concept of pollution. Obviously we have seen that how the geopolitical forums, the international platforms, how they have been working or how they have dedicated themselves in order to curb the pollution and eradicate the pollution basically, and go ahead with the concept of net zero, as in just eliminating the carbon emission concept. What we have seen, the high level of enhancement of carbon dioxide emission into our environment. And so this has literally troubled the globe at large, from going ahead with the enhancement in the annual global temperature up to 2 degrees Celsius of the planet, the depletion of how the vegetation is going away, how the deforestation is going on, and apart from that, how we have been watching that the glaciers are melting as well. Recently, there have been tons of news that how glaciers, they have been converted into merely the ice sheets. So here we have got the concept, that is Article 6 of the Paris Agreement and India's climate market kickstart. So here we go, understanding the whole feature, the whole news. So as we can see, India has set up a National Designated Authority, the NDA. Guys, please, the name is common. Don't go through that NDA, the alliance of the BJP NDA or the National Defense Academy NDA. Here, the acronym might sound similar, but it's different. Okay, that is National Designated Authority. We have established under Article 6.4 of not the Indian Constitution, but of the Paris Agreement. And this opens the door for trading emission reduction and going ahead with credits internationally. So let's talk about the key provisions of Article 6 of Paris Agreement. What is this basically referring to? So as you can see, specifically Article 6.2, it allows the countries to transfer mitigation outcomes. Example, a country reducing emission beyond its NDC can sell those credits. So how does this work? NDC as in nationally determined contributions. Okay, so NDC, you can just write it down, nationally determined contributions. So let's say, for example, a country which has said that on an average annually, okay, this is just for an example, right? So we're keeping it what? Example. So let's say a country annually has stated that it will emit X units of carbon. But in the very same year, in that very same calendar, the country has emitted X minus 1 level of carbons. Okay, X minus 1 level units of carbon, right? So basically, it has got minus 1 as its surplus. Okay, so minus 1 here is the surplus to that country. And now, this is where the credit of the country stands, right? So that minus 1 surplus that is available with that country can sell that minus 1 surplus to any another country and earn from that surplus itself. So you can understand it's a new trade as well. It's a new kid into the basket of trades as well, right? So this is what Article 6.2 that allows the countries to transfer mitigation outcomes. Okay, for example, a country reducing emissions beyond its NDC can sell those credits, right? And now, the 6.4, UN supervised trading mechanism. So it's kind of like CDM under the Kyoto Protocol, but stricter. So simply speaking, so if you are going ahead with any kind of industry or any kind of a work that is more polluting in nature, but yes, if you are enhancing the reduction level, basically, if you are enhancing the levels which is going to reduce the emission of carbon as well as other pollutants into the ecosystem, that means you are gaining yourself some extra level of credits. And so this is where the Kyoto Protocol of 1998 or 96 was basically mentioning that the countries with lower level of emissions shall be given more proper what we say image or a platform into the global stages, right? Like Bhutan is there, like many Scandinavian and other European nations are there, right? So this is where taking advantage or taking the pledge or taking basically the inspiration from Kyoto Protocol, we have gone through the Article 6. Okay, so we have now implemented Article 6 of the Paris Climate Agreement. So from your exam perspective, if you just need to recall it, so you can just remember Article 6 is what? The carbon credits of the Paris Climate Agreement 2015. So why it is important for India? So as we can see, it monetizes the green projects like the offshore wind projects, the CCUS as in carbon capture. Okay, its usage, U for usage and S for storage. Okay, then it also positions India as a carbon credit hub, right? So we can invest more into the industries and we can attract more and more investors into the Indian industries, right? And now it can also attract climate finance while meeting the nationally determined contribution targets. Okay. Now, the governance link. The NDA, once again, please don't get confused. We're not dealing with the National Democratic Alliance or the NDA, that is National Defense Academy. It is National Designated Authority. That is what NDA, what we have made under Article 6 of Paris Climate Agreement of 2015, basically, right? So it is chaired by whom? It is chaired by the MOEFCC Secretary, as in simply speaking, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change Secretary. Remember, it's not minister. It is not headed by any minister. It is headed by the secretary, right? So it ensures alignment with the national priorities, basically. Okay, so this is what you need to mark, guys. I hope this is all clear. I can't see any questions. So I hope this is all clear, everyone. Okay, so who will lead it? An MOEFCC, not and sorry, MOEFCC minister, secretary will lead it, right? Next, the PM SVANidhi scheme, the restructuring of PM SVANidhi scheme. So what is this all about? Let's go ahead and discuss in detail. So first of all, the news. Urban street vendors, that is about 1.15 crore targeted street vendors, will get collateral-free loans till the time period of 2030. So the SVANidhi scheme's time period has been extended at large, right? So here we go. What's new? So higher loan slabs from 15,000 to 25,000 to 50,000. Then all the credit will be linked through UPI or the RuPay credit cards, which basically digitizes the small credits. Okay, and further, the digital cashback, it will provide incentives into the formal transactions as well. Then entrepreneurship training plus the hygiene modules with the food safety and security standards, Food Safety Standards Authority of India. Okay, that is FSSAI. So obviously we have seen that how the hygiene element is one of the very big reasons in our street foods, right? And now we also know this, that how these street vendors, they are one of the very strong pillars of the local economy. Their economy is obviously going on good with this street shops, but apart from that, the local economy or the local exchequer also gets benefited huge with this local street vendors. So the only concern that raises out, or the only concern that stands in here, is with regard to the hygiene. So the PM SVANidhi scheme, that is providing the small loans like from 15,000, 25,000, 50,000, the three slabs are kept there. And the scheme has been extended till the time period of 2030, right? So this is what the whole scenario is. Okay. And now the most wonderful part and very, very important from your prelims perspective is, if the vendors are using the loan amount through their UPI or through their credit cards, the RuPay credit cards that is given to them, right? They might also receive some good incentives. That is basically the type of the cashbacks. So let's say I'm a small street vendor. I have got a 15,000 worth credit from my RuPay credit card, okay, through the PM SVANidhi scheme. And let's say I have made a transaction worth rupees, let's say 5,000 rupees. And so out of the transaction of those 5,000 rupees, I might get some hundreds or maybe 1,000 rupees in the form of incentives or the cashback. So ultimately, it is inspiring me to use the SVANidhi scheme, as well as it is also providing me a good support, a good financial support, right? So now let's talk about why it matters. What is the basic use of the SVANidhi scheme here? So it integrates the informal workforce into the financial mainstream. We have seen that how the reports from the World Bank, as well as IMF, as well as Indian financial institutions, including RBI, they have provided us the data that around between 55 to 60% of Indian workforce is involved in the informal sectors. So obviously, being the informal sector participant or the informal sector worker, those people, they are not able to use, utilize, or enjoy the benefits of the government schemes, right? And the schemes like PM SVANidhi will integrate the informal sector with the formal one, providing basically the mainstream financial backbone, right? Now the next thing. So it reduces dependence on local money lenders. Obviously, this is, the big trouble that India has been facing since the ages. And yes, supports the urban livelihoods, and it also aligns with our sustainable development goals part 1, that is basically targeting towards no poverty, and SDG part 8, that is the decent work conditions as well as the workplace, right? So PM SVANidhi scheme, the linkage is there in front of you, getting rid of the local money lenders, getting inducted into the basically covering the aspects of financial inclusion, and then yes, also going ahead with the SDG 1 as well as SDG 8, Sustainable Development Goals 1 and Sustainable Development Goals 8, right? Now, the governance twist. What's the concept here? Coordination among ULBs, that is urban local bodies, the banks, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, the DFS, as well as going ahead with the proper digital footprint. So it can be used for social security schemes later on. How much money is needed, how much money is utilized, in what manner it is utilized, in what ways they are utilized. So this is all what the data is available. So this data is quite useful. Is this data means like it's badly needed as well, right? In order to, create some good further schemes for our future generation, right? Then we have got a specific tone here as well, a specific statement here as well that you must go ahead with. In a sense, India is teaching the chaiwalas and the chartwalas to become digital entrepreneurs. This is what social justice when it meets the financial technology, right? So guys, you can just keep this line with you, okay, in case you're writing your mains examination. So you can use such hookup lines, okay, such startup lines. These are quite attractive, and obviously when it's quite attractive, it will gain you some good extra marks as well, right? So here we go. So next thing, the State Energy Efficiency Index 2024. Energy efficiency, the thing that we have been, always questioning ourselves, and how much energy efficient we are, how much efficiently we are using the power sector in our country. And so here we have got some basic traits, some basic reports. So state energy efficiency, first of all, who releases this report? What is the name of the organization that releases this report? So it is the Bureau of Energy Efficiency, in short, BEE. Okay, what's the name? Bureau of Energy Efficiency. So it's not just one, but two organizations, those who, okay, in collaboration provide us this report. And second one is AEEE, that is Alliance for Energy Efficient Economy. Okay. So these are the two national level institutions, national level organizations, which provide us this State Energy Efficiency Index. What's the name once again? Bureau of Energy Efficiency, BEEB. And then we have got AEEE, that is basically Alliance for Energy Efficient Economy. Okay. Now, it is the 6th edition that talks about the time period, the financial year 2023 to 2024. And now, the factors, basically the purpose. To track how well each state and a union territory is implementing energy efficiency, its policies, and how it's contributing to India's net zero commitments for 2070, up to 2070, right? So we have in multiple forums, including the Conference of Parties 15, 21, 23, Kyoto Protocol, Copenhagen, Rio de Janeiro conferences, okay? So we have always raised our voices, raised our volume with regard to the energy efficiency, as well as the most important part, that is reduction into the carbon dioxide emission as well, right? So considering the very same thing here, we have got the logic, okay, we have got the concept, that is our own nationally determined goal, our own NDG. And what's that? By year 2070, India has committed to be fully net zero country. Net zero as in our carbon dioxide emission will be reduced to zero, that is basically neutralized. Okay. So this state energy efficiency report basically also justifies India's action towards its own commitment of becoming a net zero country by 2070. Well, the present world order doesn't allow us to think till the time period of 2070, but yes, it is in general ways, right? So what it measures and what is the areas of coverage? So obviously we have got 28 states and 8 UTs with us. So in total 36 states and UTs. So basically it's a pan-India report. Okay. So from Kashmir to Tamil Nadu, basically from Indira Col to Indira Point, from 9-degree channel to 10-degree channel, from Gujarat, Nagaland to Arunachal, Rajasthan. Okay. It is covering the each and every angle of our country, right? So coverage, all 36 states and UTs. And what's the framework? So technically 66 indicators are there, which are both outcome as well as process based. Outcome as in the actual savings and how much renewable energy integration has been done. And the process based, basically the policy utilization, regulation, as well as the institutional capacity. So these are the things that are taken care in this one particular state energy efficiency index, okay, given to us by BEE and AEEE. So the sectors. First of all, yes, the buildings. How our buildings from commercial to non-commercial, that is basically housing as well as commercial, how much energy efficient buildings they are. Then implementation, industry actually. So the implementation of PAT as in perform, achieve and trade scheme. And then we have got the municipal services, how good street lighting is, how water pumping efficiency is, and so on. Then obviously transport. Are we going ahead with the proper and faster EV vehicles adaptation? We have got the schemes like FAME and FAME 2.0, faster adoption of the electric vehicles. How we are going ahead with the public transport efficiency. How we are using efficiently the energy into the agriculture sector, basically the pump efficiency and demand side management. And yes, the discoms. Okay, so how the loss reduction is going on, how smart metering is going on, how peak load management is going on. Are we going ahead still with load shedding as well as the continuous power cut supply? Okay, so these are the things that are going ahead with. And then the cross sector, basically the policy, finance, capacity building, etc. So these are the basic sectors through which the BEE and AEEE, they do provide us the State Energy Efficiency Index. Okay, so guys, remember it's a pan-India index. It's not like that it is just covering some states and some UTs. No, It's covering all the states and all the UTs, basically all 28 states and 8 UTs, that is total 36. Right? So here we go to the next part. International relatability. Are we having such type of the reports in other countries as well, or at the global levels as well? So yes. So it's similar to the benchmarking exists globally, like EU's energy efficiency scoreboard for the whole of European Union. And then we have got COP28, that is talking about energy efficiency. It was called as the first fuel for the clean energy transaction. That is basically the cheapest way to cut emissions. Right. So now here we have got the term. What do you mean by the term? First fuel. Okay. So once again, if we write it here, first fuel. What it is termed as energy efficiency. Right. Where? So at Conference of Parties 28. Right. So the first fuel term, which is in news, what is this first fuel? Energy efficiency, where Conference of Parties 28, that is basically COP28. Okay. So here we go to the next one. National Annual Report and Index on Women's Safety. In short, the name, NARI. How much safe women are in India? How much safe our ecosystem is with regard to the whole human beings. Okay, so here we go. The first thing, released by NCW as in National Commission for Women, and it basically assesses safety perceptions, the number of incidents, and the institutional responses as well. And now let's talk about the highlights. The National Safety Score, lethal, 65% only. Then, night safety confidence collapses, especially in public transport. Not just talking about the rural areas, urban areas as well. Reporting low. Only 22% cases officially registered and only 16% acted upon. Means even out of those 22%, only 16% cases are there which were acted upon by the authorities. Next, the POSH awareness. Prevention of sexual harassment of women at workplace. In short, we call it as POSH. 53% of the workforce is unaware if workplaces had such type of policies. But that means every second institution in our country isn't aware about the POSH policy guidelines. And this is the data given to us not by any private institution or any international institution where we can question that no, the reports are biased. It's the report coming to us by whom? By the government agency itself, National Commission for Women. And what's the national safety score? Only 65%. As per NCRB, National Crime Records Bureau, one rape case is registered every single hour in our country. Every single hour. Can you imagine? That's what this report is actually claiming. 65% of the national score with regard to the safety. The transportation is another such concern. The night safety confidence collapses, right, with regard to the public transport. Women, they don't feel safe in the public transport, especially during the night times. Then, the reporting of the cases. Out of every 100, only 22 cases are being reported. And out of those 22, 16% are only acted upon. So that's also a very severe thing. So basically, I'm saying that out of 100, 22 cases are registered, and out of those 22 registered cases, only we can say what 3 or 4 cases are being acted upon at a time. And so the final one, the POSH policy guidelines. 53% of the workplaces are not even aware that whether such a type of a scheme or a policy is there as well. And so here we have got the hookup line. The GDP growth won't fix fear. That's what the dark reality is. Unless governance builds both highways and safe walkways for half the population. That's basically the women, right? This is what, no, this is not a very pessimist or regressive line. That's an aggressive and an eye-opening line. The GDP growth won't fix fear. That's reality. We are going ahead with good physical infrastructure, with good physical growth and development. Okay, we are going with physical development. Are we going ahead with physical growth? The mental growth, the societal growth? Is the social infrastructure getting upgraded as well? Is the social infrastructure also working on a very good platform as well? This is where the concern is, and the report justifies every single question that yes, we are far behind when it comes to the social infrastructure, the social growth and development. The social parameters are still to be considered, right? It's a still matter of concern. So the GDP growth won't fix fear unless the government builds both highways and safe walkways for half the population. That's the reality. So here we go to the next achievement of our country. So from Mangalyaan to Chandrayaan. And now this time it's Samudrayaan mission, India's deep ocean leap. So here we go with the factors, the context. Human-rated submersible Matsya 6000, that is to explore 6,000 meters depth, 6 kilometers beneath the waters, part of India's deep ocean mission. And what's the strategic importance of this Matsya 6000 and India's deep ocean mission? So the strategic importance. First of all, the oceans, they are obviously the mystery, but they're also rich in natural elements like polymetallic nodules like nickel, cobalt, rare earth elements, which are critical for the production of electronic vehicles, as we've already discussed in the previous topics, that how they are badly needed, as well as electronics when it's mentioned as the strategic autonomy. So, apart from that, it expands the scientific research capacity in maritime biology and geology. And yes, why it matters. So basically, it completes India's triple frontier capabilities, like space, got the Chandrayaan and Mangalyaan, the polar, that is basically the Arctic and Antarctic missions, okay, and finally, the deep ocean. And it basically positions India for International Seabed Authority decision-making way. Remember, we are not the founding member of ISA, but yes, we are the member of International Seabed Authority, and going ahead with such type of missions like Matsya 6000 or the Samudrayaan mission provides India an upper hand into the International Seabed Authority, as well as going ahead with the proper research beneath the ocean will provide us some wonderful enhancements in our domestic production, if in case we are able to extract the mineral resources from the deep waters, right? Here we go to the next one, Interpol's purple notice. Well, it's about Interpol's purple notice, but why we have mentioned ED? ED's first issuance. Has Interpol issued a warrant against the Enforcement Directorate of India? No, absolutely not. It's about the purple notice of Interpol has been for the first time used by Enforcement Directorate of India. So context, Enforcement Directorate used Interpol's purple notice channel to share criminal modus operandi globally. Modus operandi as in the mode of operation by the criminals. So it's a Latin word that is known as modus operandi. We use it in our legislative languages, right? So the types of notice Interpol issues. So first one is red notice, that basically talks about the locate and arrest, the location and arrest of a criminal. Then second, the blue notice, that talks about basically locate, but do not arrest, but yes, identify. And then comes in the purple notice that talks about the modus operandi, the usage of the devices, the concealment methods, etc. And the last one, the silver notice, that is the very new one, that tracks the assets of the accused or the culprit. So basically, guys, remember Interpol's types of notice. So they are 4, and the most fresh one is silver, right? So the red notice, basically locate and arrest. Blue notice, locate but don't arrest, just identify. Third, purple notice goes ahead with the modus operandi operations, modus operandi identification, the usage of devices, and the concealment methods. And finally, the fresh one, that is the silver, it talks about the tracking of the assets of the accused, right? And now, the context here, why it matters. So it signals India's proactive role in global policing and useful for tackling financial crimes, cyber fraud, and cross-border terror funding. And apart from that, the governance angle is also here. Basically, Interpol notices are not arrest warrants. Actual arrest depends on the national laws. And if we use the notice angles of Interpols, our national laws can be strengthened as well with regard to the crime and criminal tracking as well as their neutralization. And now, it also strengthens India's image as a cooperative but sovereign in law enforcement. Okay, basically it represents how much sovereign we are, how much strongly sovereign we are, and how much we are committed with regard to the establishment of welfare state, simply justifying the strength and power of our law enforcement agencies. And here we go. Next to the next news. Vishwakarma scheme formalizing India's traditional artisans. Well, India, we have always got a distinct image globally with regard to our domestic production. No, domestic artistic productions, right? And so for our domestic artisans, we have got the Vishwakarma scheme. So here we go. So central government's flagship scheme to support traditional craftsmen, the craftspeople, and the micro entrepreneurs. So the key features, it covers 18 traditional trades, basically starting from carpenters to goldsmiths to cobblers, etc. So 18 craftsmen of India, right? Next, the credit support. Collateral free loans, basically at first tranche 1 lakh rupees and at second tranche 2 lakh rupees more. Okay, obviously at concessional interest rates. Skill training, providing training for the usage of modern tools, digital skills, and providing soft loans for their upgradation with regard to the digital platforms as well. Next, market linkages, branding of their local products, quality certification, and e-commerce integration, basically providing them with the government e-marketplace platform, that is GEM, right? So providing the gem of a person, the GEM platform, right? And now here we go to the next one, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, making farming less risky. Well, it's a very wonderful scheme, but a very unfortunate fact as well with regard to this scheme. India being an agricultural nation with around 60% of the Indian population directly or indirectly associated with the agricultural activities, is having only one scheme at pan-India level with regard to the crop insurance. That is known as Prime Minister's Crop Insurance Scheme, or the generic name, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Launched in the year 2016, quite a late, merging the earlier National Agricultural Insurance Scheme, okay, modified as NICE. Designed as a farmer-centric, technology-driven crop insurance program. Objective with the name itself is crystal clear: to support sustainable production in agriculture by providing financial support in case of crop loss or damage regarding El Nino, La Nina, droughts or floods, or any kind of man-made disaster or any kind of natural disaster as well, right? So the key features: coverage, all food crops. Remember, it's not covering the cash crops. All food crops from cereals to millets to pulses to oil seeds, etc. Then annual commercial or horticulture crops which are to be notified by the state governments first. Okay, it will be covered, but only if the state governments notify them, okay, the other commercial, that is the cash crops or the horticulture crops. It's not covered directly. Automatically, it's not covered. State government need to provide this through a government order or through a notice or a circular to the central government to induce these and those cash crops or the horticulture crops into the Fasal Bima Yojana. Then only it will be added, or else automatically it's not added. Then the rates, the premium need to be paid. So this is the premium need to be paid by the farmer, not by the government. So the farmers pay only a fixed portion, like for Kharif crops 2%, for Rabi 1.5%, and commercial or the horticulture crops 5%. Okay, so this is what, how much money is to be paid by the farmer. 2% for Kharif, 1.5% for Rabi, and 5% for the other crops, other commercial or the cash crops, right? So the rest is subsidized by the center and state on 50-50 basis. So the rest of the premium is to be paid by center and states as a joint collaborative effort, 50-50. So this is it with regard to the feature. And now let's talk about the integration of technology in it. So remote sensing is done, drones, mobile apps for yield estimation, faster, more transparent claim settlement, etc. And yes, the voluntary aspect. Since 2020, enrollment is voluntary. Earlier, it was mandatory for all agricultural credit, okay, often making it a de facto mandatory thing for the loanee. But since 2020 or 2020 onwards, this crop insurance thing has been made voluntary to the farmer. Whether you want to enroll yourself or not, it's totally up to you. And now the flexibility. States may choose coverage area, implement via private or a public insurer, integrated with KCC, that is Kisan Credit Card, and it facilitates credit flow, insured farmers are more bankable. Okay, so this is what the whole scenario with regard to Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. And guys, remember the most important part here, if you are a serious UPSC CSE aspirant, so this information is for you. Our resolution plus batches, they are about to commence from 10th and 20th September. So if you are an aspirant eyeing for 2027, a year of the examination, in Hindi medium, in English medium, or in the bilingual, that is Hindi or English medium, StudyIQ has got you covered. From prelims to mains to interview, that is the GS P2I batch for 2027, it is about to commence from 10th of September. Right, guys? From 10th of September, we are providing you the batches, right? What you will get in this batches? 1000 plus hours of live classes. Well, in case you miss the live classes, do you have access to recorded lectures? Yes, you have got the access to the recorded lectures as well. Next, apart from that, you will get 18 sets of printed books sent to us to you, okay, as in while taking the subscription you will have to provide us with your address, and the very same address that you have provided us, on the very same address we'll send you 18 books, okay. Apart from that, teacher's personal class notes that he or she is using to teach you will be given to you at the end of the session in the PDF format. Well, this is about the knowledge enhancement part, right? Let's talk about the knowledge and assessment part as well. Do we have test series inducted in it, in this resolution plus batches? Yes. We have got prelims test series, mains test series, as well as interview guidance program under one single subscription. 75 plus tests for your prelims, 15 plus tests for your mains, and multiple mock interviews for your interview final stage as well. Apart from that, do we have the mentorship program in the very same subscription? Yes. In the very same subscription, that is in the very same resolution plus batch, you will get a 1:1 mentorship program. As in simply, the moment you have subscribed, the very same moment, a personal mentor will be assigned to you, with whom you can connect anytime as per your convenience and ask him or her about your academics and preparation related doubts. The mentor shall be there, okay, at your service whenever you need. Then finally, the very same program also covers your PRP and MRP. Now, what is this? Prelims residential program as well as mains residential program. So, prelims residential program is for those aspirants, those who have inducted into the resolution plus batches, and they have also given the test series. And in case they are into the top 10% of our aspirants, of our students, so they will be called before prelims to Delhi okay, and they will be given offline classes by the great mentors, and no extra fees is to be paid. And then comes the mains residential program. What is this? Once you have qualified your prelims, that for sure you are going to qualify. That's the Tathastu concept. Okay. And once you have qualified your prelims, right, then you will be called back again to Delhi's hub of civil services, that is Rajendra Nagar, where you were earlier living, okay, with regard to the prelims residential program. And now the very same, your apna, your khud ka apna, what we say, personal space to live in, okay, with all the basic facilities and amenities, right? And for that, you don't have to pay a single penny. So till your mains, you will be staying there in our accommodation that is that is provided to you now, okay? And you can just go ahead with our daily offline classes from the great same educators, okay, with no changes. And remember, neither you have to pay for a single penny for your residence during the prelims time period, neither for your mains time period, neither for any offline classes, neither for any further test series that shall be given to you during your residential program. Okay, everything will be totally on us, that is on StudyIQ. Okay, you don't have to pay one single penny, right? So guys, remember how much subscription fee it is. So if you are an aspirant for 2027 batch, so it will be costing you 31,999. But with a promo code, that is PRV Live. If you apply this promo code, then only you will get this figure, or else the figure might be more than this. And in case you are an aspirant for 2028, so the prices for the long-term GSP2I batch will be 46,999 only. But remember, the promo code is needed, that is PRV Live. So guys, please connect with this promo code, okay? Whenever you are availing any subscription on the StudyIQ platform, you need a promo code to get the maximum discount, and here is the promo code. So guys, remember, enroll yourself quickly because the batches are commencing from 10th of September only, okay? And you know the importance of these batches quite well, whether 2027 or 2028. It's totally up to you. Just enroll yourself at the earliest possible time and eliminate all the odds that might be coming between you and your success. Right, everyone? So thank you so much for watching. And yes, before you leave, do not forget to hit the subscribe button of our channel, StudyIQ IAS English. Okay, so a channel dedicated and committed with just one agenda to provide you all the quality and quantity of the content, right? So just enroll yourself here, okay, into the resolution batches. And yes, obviously just hit the subscribe button as well and never miss an update from the channel. And yes, in case you wish to connect with me, so we have got this Telegram channel named as Praveen_StudyIQ. You can just scan this QR code and connect with me. And in case further you wish to connect, so we have got the Instagram account as well, that is named as Praveen_Mishra_2107. Okay guys, so thank you so much for joining, and please hit the subscribe button and never miss an update from the channel. Bye bye, good day, take care, see you soon in the next session. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.